Exactly.
I respect that. You believe in the law of attraction?
Mm-hmm.
She believes in the law of Jaylah.
Then if you believe in the law of attraction, then you know you can manifest whatever you want and need.
You lied?
Oh, I proved my point last week, which is something we cannot talk about. But I just say
We'll talk about
I proved my point, and manifestation is real.
It's always real. That's why I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, that's real.
Welcome to the show.
Well,
Craze Boogie's here. Jaylah's here.
I'm here.
What is it? What time is it?
Mike
we Spanish.
Piazza.
It's 11 minutes late.
11 minutes late, and it's because Jaylah was late.
Get used to it.
We don't apologize. We just appreciate y'all for understanding.
Get used to it, man.
Creator of Universal Mind Control. You see, I almost fucked up the brand right there.
You know, it's funny. The brand name is Universal Mind Fuck. But since day one, because of Common
Control,
everybody's been controlled enough, or at least conditioned, to know what Universal Mind Control is. So, you know, Universal Mind Fuck is the brand.
Is here. He's in the building.
Yo.
First of all, let's talk about his collection of Funkos behind him.
Yo.
I got my Funkos too. Don't make me pull my bag out.
That's an impressive collection.
That's a nice creative little space right there. I like that.
Half of it is about to go to storage, my brother, honestly. Like it's too. This started during quarantine and became my quarantine process to, you know, deal with the craziness of quarantine. But
how do you pick your Funkos though? Because I feel like everybody has a different, like the people that I know are really into it. There's different methods to their like where they're going with this.
Yeah,
like
my shit is
like what's your number one attraction?
Growth in value. That's really what I care about, honestly. Like once I started paying attention, obviously Funkos have been around. I've known what toys are my whole entire life. Mm-hmm. But once I understood the value of these pieces, similar to what, you know, Beanie Babies at one point were, but the value in this plastic, then that's really when I started collecting it. Like I didn't pay attention to it for the first 7 years of the brand, 10 years maybe of the brand, because it started around like 2015, I think, if not 2012.
I got Funkos that I've gotten out of the country.
That's amazing, and they mean something because you've gotten it and you remember that story. I've got a pin board back there, probably with like 70, 80 pins that I've gotten around the world, basically, like not world, because I've been to like Mexico, DR, and shit like that, but around the country. Like I had a job that used to have me travel, and for 2 years, a year and a half, I traveled the country. I went to Mexico, a bunch of shit, and everywhere I went, one of my trinkets would be a pin from my hat, which is ironic because I don't have anything on, but I have like 60 pins, some of them from Mexico, some of them from LA, some of them from San Fran. And I'll see that collection of pins on that board, and I'll know that this is basically like a little map. And these pins come from this part of the world, and it brings me back to all the memories of those transactions, basically.
I do fridge magnets.
I got magnets too, but only squared magnets, though.
Of course, for the symmetry.
I have different types. Like they all have to be squared. That's my one thing.
So they're not all squared, but it revolves around the place that I went to. So we got like one that's from Greece, and I think it was actually from Athens, and it's a gladiator one, but it's not squared. It's just, I think it's made out of bone too, which is fire.
Probably a die cut, it's the original shape.
Out of Crazy's bone.
Out of what bone?
Yeah, I wouldn't say be
bone?
A real bone.
Yeah, like whose bones is in there?
Slaves' bones. Now,
wow.
See?
Damn, you really said that on this episode.
I don't know what's going on.
That's
lucky number 97.
Right?
97. 97. 97th episode.
You star and I'm Buck Wild, right?
Right? Yo.
Let's get to know Isaac, and then we got some crazy topics to talk about. So let's talk about Universal Mind Fuck, not Universal Mind Control.
Yes.
How'd that come about?
Universal Mind Fuck started for me a long time ago. It started probably in my teens, like always being complimented for the way I looked and what I had on. And then, like I told
more
you,
stylish Craze Boogie, by the way.
Yo, seriously.
I mean,
different style, but yeah, it's more stylish. I feel like
Craze look like a LA hipster right now.
I got my kimono on, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
I freaking love you, Craze. I swear. You have
I
a
got
fucking
love for him
kimono on
already,
right now.
I just met him 15 minutes ago.
Yo. But yeah, man.
So you were saying, yeah,
the brand Universal Mindfuck has a lot of dope fucking designs. Are you doing all the designs yourself?
At the moment, yeah. Before I had a design I was working with exclusively. So I came up with the actual name Universal Mindfuck in 2011 approximately. No, excuse me, 2009 approximately. When me and my boy Francis was sitting at a kitchen table trying to like figure out what our lives was going to be after college. And I sat down and was like, every brand right now is like a 3-letter brand. You got LRG, you got ROC, you got BBC, you got X, Y, and Z. So what's going to be, eye-catching to make you look at it? So I started, at that point in my life, I used to say mindfuck after everything because I was into conspiracies, YouTube, and all that shit. So I feel like my mind was fucked. Everything about me that I thought was me, from hip hop to my clothing to culture, I was like, whoa, I've been trained to think and feel this way. Like this shit scared and confused the shit out of me. And so I felt like everything was a mind fuck, everything being universal. So if you think back on cartoons in like the Warner Brothers stage, everything is Acme brand. So yeah, everything is Acme brand for a reason. And it's one, so that they don't give money to any like a company out of royalty or whatever the case is. And two is so that you get acclimated to that so much that you know what that is. And when you see Acme now, you revert back to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create something to that extent. And the letters that came to mind was UMF, which when you read it says oomph, which means nothing. But then it creates its purpose, which is to make you wonder what the fuck it means. And now what's UMF? UMF is universal mindfuck. And now everybody's like, whoa, because the word fuck is in it. But then once you hear like, okay, what's universal mindfuck now? And then basically universal mindfuck is what I just finished saying. Everything around you is set up to mindfuck you. Now it's your choice and your job to ask, what is it, what's happening, and why is it happening? And if you get any of those three questions answered, then you know one more thing than what everybody else is doing. And now you've broken a barrier in being, a sheep, a robot, or whatever, a consumer. And now you are elevating yourself to something else. So the point of the brand was to think. And that's why the logo of the brand is a brain and it has its eye. It doesn't have its necessarily third eye only. It has its own eye. It can see for itself the mind. And that's what I wanted people to understand. And
that's what
I appreciate that. That one was created by my original designer, whose name is Jevin. I was working with Jevin for probably like the first 3 or 4 years of the brand.
Oh, wow.
And we, like humans do, we fall out. But we fell out because he felt like we were UMF and I felt like I was UMF. And in the very beginning, I didn't understand it. Now I obviously see that as control. UMF was my baby, my creation. And like I said, I created it with my boy, my best friend, at a table, and we were supposed to do it together. And then I was dealing with some depression and he told me, I don't really believe in you enough to believe in the brand that you want to do. So I was like, oh shit. And then a few other things, and that's real. And those are those moments where it's like, what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to be scared or mad at the person who told you truth, or are you going to do something about it? And then I was telling Rick, like I had a bunch of crazy shit happen to me. Am I a blank screen right now?
No. We can see.
Oh, I forgot because my bad. It's a little.
The other one is you can't see. We can only see this one.
That's fine. As long as I don't look like a black screen that says iEyesack only. Anyways, I had a bunch of crazy shit happen to me and I was dealing with a situation specifically that was going to make or break me. And I was like, shit, I got this idea that can make me. And this person is telling me that they don't believe in me and that they don't believe in a future because I don't believe in myself and I don't believe in my future, which I didn't because I was dealing with depression. And that's what depression does. It allows you to not, you know, help yourself. It allows you to be comfortable in nothing. And it allows you, I feel like it's, what's the word? It allows you to be complacent. Yeah. But it also, it's a luxury. That's the word I was thinking about. Depression is a luxury. And it sounds scary to say that, but like mean. But like when you're depressed, you spend the most money on things that don't fill you up. You spend the most money on food, on drugs, on things that you think are going to make you happy, but don't really do anything. And you just, you know, you figure it out. And what you don't understand is, like I was telling Jaylah, is it's the law of attraction. When you want something and you think about it hard enough in a positive sense, even if you're dealing with negativity, that positivity is going to come to you. So if you are depressed at your most state, but you tell yourself, I need to pop 10 fucking Xans a day, those 10 Xans are going to appear regardless of if a pill costs $30, $40, $50. I don't know how much Xans costs, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to appear. And some people have that type of drug habit and they'll be able to feed that drug habit because the law of attraction is working in their favor. And they just need to understand that if they refocus that energy to something that was positive in themselves, then they could be great in anything.
Was your boy telling you that kind of like your clique? Was that like
he's my best? Right. He was my best friend. Like out of my, I want to say like 4 or 5 male best friends, because I don't have OGs. Like I don't have a mentor. I have a very like few group of men that I respect enough to like call them my friends or brothers, like outside of my blood brother. Like I grew up in a family who my father was in my life, but you know, a Dominican man, and he raised me how he could raise me, and I love him to this day. And you know, I grew up to be the best man I could be, but my friends obviously are your influences, and I tried to surround myself with influences, because what he told me was your family is your real friends. Your friends are never your real friends, because when you're in a situation, they'll leave you or blah blah blah. And obviously that will always happen in some sense. But when you find somebody who you cannot speak to for a year or a couple of weeks, and the relationship is the exact same as when y'all talk every single day or every couple of minutes, then that's somebody who you kind of have more of a relationship with than somebody that you think you need to speak to every couple seconds in order for you to feel connected with them.
No, that's facts, man. I feel like that's a lot of that shit, you know, resonates with me and Rick, because we known each other, you know, our whole lives, bro. You know, really.
Over 30.
But yeah, so when he told me that, it kind of made me realize, like, oh shit, if the dude who's heard me crying about my sadness and literally didn't judge me enough to be like, yo, you a bitch. Mm-hmm. Like, you are less than a man. If he didn't see me as less than a man when I was crying, but then didn't believe in me because of the overall sadness that he continued to see, I had to understand, like, yo, I got to do something different. So so he graduated. I started doing the brand in 2011, which would be like 2 years after the name was thought up. And I did my first t-shirt on using clip art with designs that meant nothing. But I feel like people bought them because they were buying into me and the energy that I was putting out. So I eventually, doing sales, I learned that you don't sell product. You sell yourself in product. And whether you're doing retail or you're doing high-end retail, or you know, are a car salesman, you could sell a Lamborghini if you can sell a Lamborghini. But some people can't because they feel like they can't. But if you know you can sell a Lamborghini, you're going to sell 100 Lamborghinis. And that's all. That's the difference. And that's the difference in people.
Nah, straight up, bro. That's game right there. Yo, but you said that the one of the things that led you was the conspiracy theories on YouTube. I want to ask, do you believe in Q? In QAnon? Are you a QAnon?
And what construct?
In that there's a guy
and that there's I'm sorry.
In that there's like a guy called Q.
Yeah.
That was exposing these government secrets, and that foretold this prophecy of Donald Trump being the savior from the cabal of
pedophiles and stuff. Okay, so you basically are repeating verbatim what they believe. All right, I just wanted to make sure what it was. So, do I believe in QAnon according to that definition? Absolutely not. Do I believe in QAnon as a conspiracy theory? Absolutely, because it's obvious. And so, like, I'm a person who didn't hate Donald Trump, as crazy as that sounded, throughout the, what was it, 8 years?
4.
He was 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
4.
perfect. So you see how crazy that shit is? I thought it was 8 years. So
but that's just how you every day you woke up with anxiety when he was the president.
No, I didn't. What? I woke up with anxiety when he became president.
Yeah,
I left that anxiety by year 2 or 3. And a part of that was because my mentality was different, therefore my life was different. By the 2nd or 3rd year of his presidency, I had gotten a job. Well, he became president, what, 2016?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So 2015, I broke up with a shorty. 2015, I learned how to do embroidery. 2016, I left that job that taught me how to do embroidery. Right? No. Anyways, I learned how to do embroidery. Then after learning how to do embroidery, I joined with a job that, like I said, flew me around the world. Yeah. And with that, I saw everything. Like,
so why don't you hate Trump, or why you saw it differently than other people?
Because, like I say, when my mentality changed, everything changed. So when you are focusing on your dislike of Trump, what happens is more things to make you dislike Trump. If what he does doesn't bother you, not even indifferent, you have to express positivity towards the things he does, not the negativity that he does, but just overall, the man that is Donald Trump. I did not hate Donald Trump, and I did not want him to die as a human. But did I think that Mexicans are rapists? Absolutely not, and never, because I've been to Mexico 4 times, and I'm sitting right here, you know, with amazing stories to tell you from the great people that I met, and a bunch of other examples of the shit that he said. But nah, like, if the energy towards a person is not negative, then you have no negativity that's going to be sent back towards you. So that's the issue, that when everybody's hating Donald Trump, what you're creating is negative energy. And that negative energy is going to come back to you tenfold, even if it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You might have a car accident. You might get your car stolen. You might get your car broken into. And then later on, you're going to be like, yo, fuck Donald Trump. He just fucking did some other dumb shit on TV. And then right after that, something else negative might happen to you. And you think like your life is fucked up. But no, you're spewing negativity about something. Therefore, negativity is coming back to you.
I mean, I see your point. I used to be someone that mentally was never there. And I felt like everything was a snowball effect, you know. Like in my teenage years or something, if I felt like, oh my God, you know, I got 2 tickets in a week or whatever, and then, you know, my car got broken into, I would start to feel like, yo, the world is against me. But as I got older, was it Don Dinero Craze that said happiness is something that you got to be happy with yourself no matter what? So I view things like that. Like,
I mean, I agree with that sentiment. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a difference though for me in like being happy with yourself and wanting putting positivity out, and also like co-signing, you know, like some whack shit. I feel like Donald Trump shit was whack. You know, a lot of the shit that happened during his presidency was fucking trash for people that look like us. And so my feeling about him as a person, president, whatever, like you roll it into whatever it is based in like shit that was going on, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I feel like what I'm getting from your statement is the positivity. I think is definitely key for your life.
Yes,
for sure. But I mean,
I still feel you need to.
I don't know if I really
would
say that I don't fuck that I fuck Donald Trump. Necessarily though.
I don't think Isaac said he's fucking with Donald Trump.
I think you have to be indifferent. I had to learn because it
was. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you live
I think you're talking about
Florida, though, Jaylah, though.
Like indifference.
The thing is that indifference is no energy, and no energy doesn't exist. There is either positive or negative energy, and energy doesn't get created. It's only transferred.
Positive energy.
Listen, my dad and my brother both voted for Trump, and they're very, very, very pro-Trump. And for me and my mom, that was a huge issue.
And that created a rift for no reason.
We sat and had to have conversations about why being where they're from and what they've had to go through and what they've struggled with, why did they see a different perspective? And it was a realization. Again, everybody has their own opinions, and it's not a reflection. I think everybody is allowed to have their own opinions. I think that's what makes us humans, period. I think that I don't 100% agree on everything, but it did get to the point where I understood, where now a lot of the stuff they were saying, I'm starting to see what they meant because of where we're at right now with the current presidency. And it's a little scary because now we're talking about a nice perception and cover up the world of Instagram versus what reality is and what we're not even being told about right now. So there's a lot of little things where I can't.
What are we talking about?
First of all, I think this. Hold on. The reason that when the problem is this, right? Donald Trump used to use Twitter constantly, so he was like news all the time. Just because Joe Biden is not there 24 doesn't. Yes, there's things that are going on wrong.
I don't think it has to do anything with him being on social media. I honestly don't.
It does, because he was, first of all, what he would do is he would immediately tweet some stupid shit, and then that would be news.
I'm sorry.
And when they're talking about that,
I'm sorry, but they shouldn't be on fucking social media. Their job is to run this country, not to be on fucking.
I agree with you.
I'm sorry, Jaylah and Rick. Can I please interject? No disrespect. That's what the word Donald Trump just did. And I want you to understand. And I want you to understand the power that you basically just gave that man in this exchange. The question was, do you believe in QAnon?
That's what I was going to say. I didn't bring
up. I
know
exactly, but I brought it up. And listen, I brought him up, and what I said was not that I agree with him, but that I don't want negative for him, and that I didn't agree.
I think he's whack. I think I don't want negative for him, but I don't want good for him. I don't want
that's why I'm saying indifference isn't a transfer of energy. If anything, it is negative.
If you believe that there's a national network of Hollywood elites that eat babies or
drink the blood or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like
Donald
this.
Trump was the savior. That's all his role was that.
Let me tell you like
his
this.
Presidency, all that stuff. I'm
okay.
past that.
I understood the question, and it's gonna bring me back to my clothing, and it's the reason why I started making my clothes.
Okay.
So when I realized everything was set up to mindfuck you, right? I got this passion to start doing this. I got these T-shirts that mean nothing, but people buying into me. I did the first 2 T-shirts, and Jevin ended up buying one of those T-shirts. When he bought those T-shirts, he said, yo, I know how to draw. Mind you, he didn't know how to do graphic designing. He was probably like a freshman in college at that point. So what he told me was, I can make your ideas come to life. So he made some of my ideas come to life and some of his ideas come to life. And I understood his perspective to be connected to my perspective. So I went from selling 6 T-shirts and making that money to selling 30 T-shirts and taking that money. And when I made those 30 T-shirts, I made like 60 T-shirts. When I made those 60 T-shirts, I did all these things, these small things, in a matter of like 3 or 4 weeks. And when I was able to gain that type of momentum, like energy-wise, I gained up the courage after the semester ended, and summer was about to come. My last year of college was about to come, and I was supposed to get an internship because I was a business major. So I went to a clothing store, which was like the only clothing store in Buffalo, New York, called Crud Mart. And at that time, it was owned not by the original owner, who was, no disrespect, but a white guy. And I had gone in there and tried to get a job before, but he didn't see me and get me. But this guy he was a very chubby, light-skinned, mixed guy, but he was from the hood. He had a past, and he saw my energy and understood my energy. And he didn't give a shit about the product, and he didn't give a shit about the internship. He was like, I'll give you an internship and you can sell your clothes in my store and you get all the money from it. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it went from me doing that for like 6 months, and him saying to me, yo, I'm about to sell this store, you want to buy it? And I'm like, what you mean, do I want to buy this store? I can't afford this store. I haven't even finished college yet. And he goes, all right, I respect that. And just so anybody knows, his name is Lance K. So ironically, he owned the brand name Crudmart, no relation. So he tells me, do you want to buy this store? And I say, I can't afford it. And I couldn't afford it because my goal wasn't to own the store. My goal was to have a successful brand at the time. And that's what I was trying to do. And to me, I was having a successful brand. Within my first 6 months, I had sold probably like 300 t-shirts and sweaters. I had gotten into a store in the city that I was selling my products out of. I had gotten my clothes on a celebrity, which was Stevie Johnson, an NFL football player. He was on he was on ESPN during the NFL lockout with an outfit decked out to my t-shirt, and he got it. Like, he saw me and he was like, your shit is a brain and it's pink. And at that point, Stevie was just thinking outside the box. He is a different individual. So he saw it and it clicked with him, just like it clicked with everybody in my college that got it. And he wore it on ESPN, and I couldn't capitalize off that because I wasn't in a position to, even if he gave me a shout out, you know what I mean? Not because I didn't have a website, because I've had a website since I was probably like a month or two old, and I've been doing this for 10 years. And I haven't always had a website, but I've had websites, and I still got a website right now. It's universalmindfuck.com or iMadeIt.com, IEYEMADEIT.com. And I do that. Like, I build websites for people. Whenever somebody I got a brand that I got a concept of, and instead of trying to capitalize them and charge them $1,000 for some shit that I'm just gonna build for them on Shopify, I just charge them a few $100s, and I teach them how to use it, and I teach them, you know, how to not how to sell product, because that's on you, obviously, but I teach you what a platform is to sell your product, at least, and how to try to understand it. Yeah. And that's what I try to do. And that's what my passion is, outside of just trying to better myself. Like, Francis is incredibly successful with his brand in Perico Limited. And God bless you. He's gonna go global and around the world a few times. So there's no limit to his success until he puts a limit to it. The same as anybody else. When you tell yourself, I can't do this or I can't do that, then you can't do that, because you've allowed yourself not to do that. Whether it's trying to learn something in school, whether it's trying to learn something in life, whether it's an experience, is always the same shit. So when it came to me and the guy telling me, yo, you want to buy this store? I said no. So I went from the intern to, within 6 months, I started doing their website. So I would run crudmart.com. And at that point, I was using Big Cartel, which is like the most basic website creation platform, no disrespect to them, that you could use. And they used Magento or Magento, which is kind of more HTML formatted. And I didn't go to school for HTML, because when I went to school for business, I never paid attention to classes that I was actually going to. I barely went to school. I barely went to class. And I had to learn. And she taught me how to do what I needed to do to make the website function. And I learned it. And I learned it probably like in a week or two. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't go to school for this, but I just learned how to run this website enough to be able to manage their sales. And a new owner came in, and me and the owner had issues, you know, back and forth, typical shit. Like, I was young. He didn't like that I was cool, and he wasn't. Like, simple shit. And I don't mean that to sound egotistical. Like, again, no disrespect, but he was like this tiny little frail white boy from Buffalo who'd always had money, and he was like not a handsome man, you know, in my opinion. So, you know, like, he sees me, my energy, and he's like, he thinks I'm gonna be he thinks I'm gonna be combative with him, and I'm respectful to him. And it makes it even more angry, which is like something that I encountered in the corporate world. Like, when you see somebody who has greater energy than you, and you feel like they're supposed to challenge you and they don't, like, it makes you even more confused, or it makes them more confused. But eventually, like, after running his website, for I want to say like 8 months, close to a year. I stopped working at the store, and I was like, damn, what the fuck am I gonna do? My clothes is here. Like I just finished school already. Now I don't have my college crowd to hustle my t-shirts to. I gotta go strictly to websites basically, because even when I go back to campus, I feel like a weirdo not going to class and being like the old nigga who left campus. Oh, excuse my language. The old guy who left campus.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Go ahead.
So being the old guy who left campus and still coming back to, hustle his stuff. So I thought, what the hell is going to be my next move? And my boy who owned the clothing store had moved into debt collection. So he explained to me kind of like the process, the legalities of it. And he had opened up a call center basically.
In Buffalo. There's a movie about this.
Actually, you know the reason for that, right? Because they're, I don't know if it's the Erie County or what the specifics are anymore because I've forgotten them. I've also forgotten like FDCPA regulations, but there's a very specific zone that Buffalo lies in, especially like county lines. And it gives you the opportunity to not have to like file under certain corporation laws or whatever the case is, and blah, blah, blah. So I was in that collection, and I went from being, a point caller, which is just the individual who contacts you initially, to like 6 months later, again, he tells me, yo, I got this vision. I'm going to go to California and be an actor. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you a dude from the hood from Buffalo, like, you know how to make money, but why, what the fuck you mean you want to be an actor? And he goes, yeah, I want to be an actor. Like, that's been my dream. Like, and he's a funny ass dude, like comical, cracks jokes all day, like type stuff. But I didn't understand that because I never saw him as an actor. I saw him as a real person. He was never acting with me, in my opinion. So I'm like, okay, cool. So you want to move right now? And he's like, yeah. You want to buy this company from me? So he goes, so I tell him, I don't have the money for that.
I'm just going to chill with Isaac.
What?
When dudes offer you businesses.
Nah, so you see, this is what I didn't understand until hindsight kicks in. And that's why they say hindsight is perfect vision, because you see more clearly. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was dealing with a shit ton of depression. And what depression does is that it fogs up your mind. And above fogging up your mind,
that means you need a crazy boogie next to you.
It makes you make horrible decisions. So I was making horrible decisions. I had people offering me opportunities, and I was not allowing myself to take them.
Yeah.
So what I did was I went to the girl that I was dating at the time in Buffalo, and I told her, hey, my boy is offering to sell me this company for X amount of money. And what he's giving me is basically everything, which is the office space, the information, the rights to the information, more importantly. And on top of the rights, he's giving me the space, the computers. He's literally giving me the business.
He's literally giving you everything like in a package.
Yes. And I didn't understand that. But I did what I could in the moment for us to be able to capitalize it. So her father was in a position to be able to help her. So she bought the company under her name. And what the thing would be, she would work her full-time job and then I would run it. And it became that. So I went from being the point caller, the first person you called, to basically the co-owner and fucking manager and collector and everything. And I had to learn payroll, and I had to learn the ins and outs of what running a business was. And even if we didn't have 50 employees, it got to a point where we had maybe 6-7 employees, and I had to know where the money was going and why it was going there. And we weren't successful in it, but it's because we weren't successful, me and the girl that I was with. And that started with myself, and it started with her. Neither one of us, even though I had a business mindset, I was still dealing with a lot of depression. She was unhappy with herself. And two unhappy people can't do happy things, regardless of how hard you try. It's going to seem so goddamn difficult. Yeah. Until you are happy, then everything seems like it's easy, and it just happens like success.
So talk to me, because I think it was a few weeks ago. Justin, let me see some of the photos. Talk to me about
Sorry for
this
stretching, guys.
fire mask that you just did of the logo. There's this one, and there's also the one with the actual brain on it.
This shit gives me like WCW vibes.
I was gonna say this is mad macho man of me. Like if this is like retro old school, like.
So that is definitely before. I don't know. I can't see what people are saying, but like it was definitely. Oh, I see it now. It was definitely in the vein of that. The true inspiration behind that logo. That's a logo I did myself. So a part of my 10-year process has been teaching myself like a little bit of how to create designs.
Yeah.
After me and Jevin like broke up in our partnership as it was, I had no designer and I wasn't putting out the energy to attract another one. So one of the things that we always had an issue with is that like, as he was creating his designs, and again, he started out as not being a graphic designer. And then within a semester, basically taught himself how to do it backwards, like the ass backwards way. No disrespect. It was really hard, basically, what he was doing. And then eventually he learned how to do it way easier. But he wasn't a graphic designer. He taught himself how to be a graphic designer. So he would be mad that I would be looking over his shoulder and asking him questions as to what exactly he would be doing, why a line is created, why this shading is here. And he felt like that should be his secret in a way. And I was mad about that. And that created this, this clash. And eventually it became this rift where I became unhappy because as it being my baby, I'm putting all the money in, I'm promoting it. I feel like people are buying it because it's coming from me, obviously. Like I'm the one that people are buying into. And it became like, if I'm doing 40 things and you're doing one thing, how can you feel like we're equal partners? And that goes back to any relationship with a man, with a woman, with whatever, with a business. If one person feels outweighed, then they're gonna feel like the balance is uneven. And that's what usually causes the end of a relationship.
That's just how me and Craze's relationship always been.
Yo, always, bro. We've been fighting for like 30 years, honestly.
And me and Francis,
all the work.
Me and Francis
do all the
work,
and Craze gets all the credit. That's just the creativity comes from here.
Right.
And Craze just shows up for the party.
Right here.
That's true.
Or maybe back here, but right there.
Accurate.
But so yeah. What was this?
I'm the cuter one. That's the only thing.
That's what it is. That's basically what it is. So you have mentioned an interesting word. I use it all the time. Well, I grew up in East Harlem. Yeah, I grew up in East Harlem and Washington Heights. So,
what word?
And it's the N word. I'm not gonna say it on the air.
Oh, okay.
So basically, this conversation came about me and Craze off air. For a while now, I've been trying to remove it out of my vocabulary, but it doesn't take me that long. It don't take me 2 years, and I'll get to the 2 years reference in a second. It's just I've been checking myself. I just feel like
that's what that was. Honestly, that's the funny thing.
There's no need for the word. In my sense,
Yeah, I feel like the thing is that we realized that, like, even though we grew up in a time that for us it was something like that was naturally part of our vocabulary, we realized that there's like other energy that's attached to that word, and that we gotta we were having a conversation about this, and we found out that one of another homie of
shout out to Mex
is having issues with doing that, which is Papa John.
Yes.
Papa John. He said that he's been trying for the last 2 years to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary.
Absolutely. A word that took him 50 some odd years to build up the courage to say in that public status.
I think what that revealed about Papa John is that he uses that shit more often than
we knew. That's the point. Yeah. Ask questions. Always ask questions.
I think we need to ask Papa John who he's calling the N-word all the time.
That's why it's funny that you asked me the question about QAnon, because it connects. Like I was about to go back to my original story. So when I started working in the clothing store, one of the shirts that I saw was from a brand called Black Scale, which was a brand that ASAP Rocky used to push a lot back in the day.
I remember
And yeah, of course. And it was ingrained in us. How could you not remember it if you saw hip hop at that point in time? So what I remember about Black Scale is that obviously the imagery was dark, but beyond dark, it was satanic. So I remember working in the clothing store, you would have the opportunity to see seasons future. So you would see 1 to 2 seasons in the future. If you went to trade shows like Agenda or Magic, which I had the chance to visit a few, you would see future seasons again. So with Black Scale, I would see the shit and not believe it. And then it would come in and I would be like, oh, this is real. So one of the things would be like, you know how t-shirts have stuff on the sleeve? They had a t-shirt that had FFF on the sleeve. You know what that significance is?
No.
All right, cool. So if you count in the letters of the alphabet, if you believe in numerology, or even if you just put 2 and 2 together.
Is it 27 or 26, Craze?
No. FFF is, what is the 6th letter of the alphabet?
F.
So that means that the sleeve says 666. So what you're representing subconsciously, subliminally, without even noticing it, is that you're wearing the mark of the beast on your sleeve, and you're walking around like that. Now, another thing that I saw that scared me more than that was they made a white t-shirt, and I think it was a black t-shirt. I don't know if it came in other colors, but what it was a screen printed certificate, like something like a diploma that you get. And what it was a blood oath. And so it literally was a contract for you to sell your soul to the devil on the t-shirt. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa. So all this shit about Illuminati and all that other bullshit, wait, they're actually still like really feeding us this, even in a more upfront way. It's not being subliminal anymore. It's, here's a t-shirt with a contract for you to sell your soul, and you wear it. And even if you're not thinking you're doing it, what you're doing is you're selling your soul and wearing this $30 t-shirt. And what the negativity that will come to you from wearing this $30 t-shirt, you have no idea what it might be. Now, if you are dealing with negativity, you might be like, shit, I do really want to sell my soul to the devil. And then that's when it attracts that negativity. Now, if you're just wearing it because it's just a stupid t-shirt with that type of messaging on it and you don't feel that way, then what you're going to get probably is some random negativity coming your way. Whether it's a Christian that sees it and be like, yo, what the fuck do you have on? Whether it's whatever, it's going to come in some sort of fashion because you're expressing negativity and what you're expressing on yourself. And that's why I started the brand overall, because I got sick of having to wear, I would wear trendy shit like 10 Deep, like, I don't know, a bunch of graphic t-shirts and shit, naked girls, whatever was.
How much of that would you say is like sensationalism, right? Like how much? What do you mean? How much of it is just people creating brands with satanic imagery for the sake of being sensational?
You grew up listening to hip hop?
Of course.
You grew up listening to DMX?
Yeah, of course I did.
How old are you? No disrespect.
34.
Perfect. You grew up listening to Eminem?
Yeah.
You listen to Tupac?
Yes.
Probably any artist that you ask me, I'm gonna say yes. So yes.
Exactly. So before I mention another artist, did any of these men that I mentioned ever make a song where they said the words, I sold my soul?
Probably.
I sold my soul for material wishes, Tupac.
Yeah. Okay.
DMX got songs called Damien, where The Omen, X, Y, and Z, where he's literally talking to the devil. And even though he got the prayer, he still has those songs where he's specifically talking to the devil. Eminem has songs, Ken Kenneth from Connecticut, those type of skits. That's his alter ego, where is his demonic side. That's why he's talking about like molestation and sodomy and weird shit like that. Because Eminem is Marshall Mathers and Ken Kenneth is sadistic and demonic. So
that's Rick's boy. Rick loves Eminem.
I do.
I love Eminem too. I love Eminem that I grew up on, because the Eminem that is now is not the same man, and I respect that. I don't need to listen to his music now because he got all the money he needs. He don't need me as a consumer.
Neither does Jay-Z. Neither does.
Well, Jay has a different message, and I respect Jay's message at the moment, at least. I don't think, and I agree with everything that he does, but I do, especially with the last song, What It Feels Like with Nip, I understand a lot of what he's doing with that song. And it goes a lot further than making a song with a man that just passed away to capitalize on his death, in my opinion.
I feel like the reason why I say Jay-Z is because he got to a point where after he left The Rock and he was president of Def Jam, where I was like, he's in a space where he won't be able to creatively give me something, you know?
Really?
Yeah. For example, what's the name of the album with Show Me What You Got? What's the name?
Yeah. Okay. So the energy he was putting out at that time wasn't concurrent with your energy.
He just at that point, I was like, you made your money. I don't feel I get what you're saying, but me and you are in different worlds, different planes. Now, after that, he switched up and he was more like, let me show you how I did this or how I'm at where I'm at. That's where I was like, okay,
yep,
Hov is back.
Yep.
So
Hov was always there though, but you read in the commercialism of it, but that, you know what that is though? That's an artist having been a slave trying to free himself.
Well, he's definitely free now.
He had to move. He had to move a different way in order to get to where he needed to be.
He had to release himself from the shackles that were someone else owning his masters. So when he was able to go to Live Nation, create Rock Nation, get that type of money, be able to purchase his masters back, start his streaming service, start a liquor brand, and be able to sell it for billions of dollars at the moment. Like, he was truly different.
The Illuminati?
It's not about Illuminati. It's about vision, and his vision was billion, and he just attained that. So what's his next vision? We don't know because he hasn't shown it to us. We only see what he gives us. And the point of me bringing up the song of like What It Feels Like is like he made a song with Nipsey Hussle. If you know Nipsey Hussle, he owned, quote unquote, his masters. Therefore, if you make a song with Jay-Z, you have to get your masters, you have to get that cleared. Yeah. So if he did it for free, he might have paid the estate of Nipsey Hussle to do that song. I don't know the terms of a featured artist, but in giving his voice to Nipsey, he's allowing Nipsey's estate to make the money off of this song. If you notice, the streams of this song might not be that high. On YouTube, this song has less than 2 million views right now. But if you listen to this song, the energy that he's actually trying to expel, both Nipsey and Jay, if you listen to the words, are ridiculous. Like
1.7 million streams on YouTube.
Yeah, under 2 million at the moment. And I wish you could stream this song at the moment just so people can understand like what Nipsey's talking about is having experienced something. Yeah. And what Jay is talking about is what he is experiencing. Like Nip says, looking at my wrist and my six, looking at the proceeds of my rap figures, like he's proud of what he's accomplished thus far, basically, because unfortunately he didn't see that type of future where he's gonna reap the benefits from what he was able to accomplish. What Jay's talking about in that song is, I'm selling weed in the open. I'm giving jobs to ex-felons. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And it's exactly what he's doing at the moment. Like, a lot of people don't know, either through sheer ignorance or because they don't want to know, that Jay-Z has a marijuana company that he launched. Like, that you can basically buy stock for this company and become an investor in it.
Absolutely.
And that's a part of why you don't know or didn't know that Jay-Z had a weed company, because they don't want you to buy into Jay-Z and they don't want you to buy into his stock so that your value grows as his value grows. And that's what Jay-Z understands in a way, at least in my opinion.
He launched an app that allows you to build your credit.
What's it called? Self?
No, it allows you to build your credit. Like if you're subscribed to certain apps, which leads us into the Netflix argument. If you're subscribed to certain apps and you're on the app that Jay-Z created, when you make your payments on time or when you pay for everything, it goes to your credit score. So he also launched that. But Netflix is testing a program now. Jaylah, do you pay for your Netflix?
No, it comes with my T-Mobile account.
Oh, that's good.
So you pay for your Netflix?
Wait. So you pay for your Netflix? Come on.
You pay for it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but not separate accounts. Like it's a like I got it with my phone plan.
I have it with T-Mobile too. We overpay for Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
Craze, is that your? Okay, mine is not.
That's that. I share it with Rick Face.
No.
Rick. No, I got other sources for that.
He got other sources. Mine is my wife. So.
I actually don't have any. I don't.
Netflix is cracking down on multiple password users.
Yo,
as they should.
So, New York
Times. But they became like low key famous for that. They even joke around about it. Like,
nah.
I've seen Netflix on IG. Like, you know how they have like Netflix Family and called the Netflix. Like, they have the line like their little pages, but they're all still a Netflix brand, but they all joke around about it.
Yo,
they got little comedy sketch girls over there.
Netflix Family is not give your mans and them your password. That's not the same.
Yo,
and that's what they trying to crack down on.
That's my family.
Yeah,
family.
Metaphorically.
Nah, spiritually. And so I think that they should honor that. I think that like
they're testing a program.
The Pope don't honor same-sex unions. Well, same-sex marriages, excuse me.
My boy Will was one of my spiritual soulmates, and he shares his Netflix password with me. Who am I to deny him that? Like, I feel like we should.
Would you be offended though if one day when you went to stream your favorite episode of like, I don't know,
The Office?
You can't because it's off Netflix.
I would have watched that thing.
So when you go to, I don't want to second guess you. So when you go to watch your favorite episode on Netflix, would you be mad if it asked you for a 6-digit code that only your best friend and your soulmate has access to, and he's not in the crib right now?
He's gonna give it up anyway. But I'm just saying.
How about if his phone is dead and it like died right now?
Well, then you're gonna have to wait for your Netflix code for tomorrow.
Exactly, right. And that's what they're trying to. That's what they're trying to create. You know what Netflix is trying to do with that? They're trying to create a disruption. They're trying to. They're not trying to lose viewership. They're trying to gain viewership because what they want is to be able to have
be like,
me.
My own.
Let's say Rick. Let's say Jaylah. Let's say Craze, and I don't want to miss anybody. Justin and my man Justin. They want every single one of us to have a Netflix account and then some.
Fuck that.
And I respect you. That's
we can have a community ones.
Then there's gonna cost more. It's not gonna cost $8.99.
It should cost.
And that's what you gotta understand.
Well, it's gonna be like Apple though.
I don't think it does.
It's just like Apple. Apple, if you want Apple Music for yourself, is $9.99 a month. And if you want a family shared plan, you pay $15 a month.
Yeah, $15.
Yeah.
I hear y'all.
And Crazy, let me tell you, bro.
Y'all talking very capitalist right now. I'm talking about.
It's not capitalist, bro. Let me tell you, I got a lot of love for you. So if no disrespect, but I'm able to teach you this lesson now, then you might go so fucking far in life right now.
Teach me.
Yo, bro, this world is set up to mind fuck you, right?
Yeah.
It's your job to get the first nut.
I think you're doing a little bit of that shit yourself, bro. I don't know.
Because I need you to question everything in the right way.
I'm questioning you right now. You're talking about not getting me free Netflix. I subscribe to free Netflix, free the Netflix, free HBO Max too. I fuck with that. Amazon Prime, you could go either way. Bro, these guys, look, Jeff Bezos is a billionaire.
Netflix? And Jeff Bezos also left the company that made him a billionaire. And he also sold billions of dollars worth of his own stock year after year in order to make himself a true billionaire. So
that's what I'm saying. What the fuck why the fuck do I need to give him $59.99 a year?
You're not giving him anything because he doesn't run the company anymore.
The entity of Amazon. The entity of Amazon, they're good. They'd be all right without my $59.99.
For what? For Echo? For a streaming service?
I don't have any of that.
Great. You still got a device though?
Huh? No, I don't have any Amazon products in my home.
I say you still got a device though.
Okay.
Alexa, Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Like you still got a device. I'm mind fuck. You feel like I'm mind fucking?
I think you did, bro. Without my
Craze is
consent.
stressed right now.
Without my consent too.
All right, why don't you have an Amazon Echo? Them shits is fire.
I'd rather not have like a recording device the whole time, all the time.
But you got a device.
No, I know I have it some of the time, and I take precautions with mine. So what
you do? You turn your phone off all the time that you talking without talking on it?
I have my own protocols, Isaac.
You got an iPhone?
I work for the government, sir.
You got an iPhone? You got an iPhone?
Yeah.
You take the battery out?
Yeah.
You take the battery out of an iPhone?
Yeah,
That's fire.
I take it apart every night, bro. Every single night,
right.
I take my iPhone apart and I fucking put it back together.
Listen, every morning.
If my hair wasn't blue right now, I would tip my cap to you. So here you go.
There you go. You did. You tipped your cap to me.
Exactly, because I got to give you that type of respect. If you take the battery out of your iPhone every night so that the government don't record
not the battery.
Your conversation.
Not the battery. I dismantle the shit every night.
That's even better. You a industrial engineer, my brother. You could be designing power plants.
I got you. No, so
what you want to do?
J-Lo and A-Rod, talk to me, H.
I thought they broke up, but
they're back together.
TMZ is reporting today, keeping their kids happy is a key.
The distraction of J-Lo and A-Rod continues
on the relationship. Yeah,
I love that distraction.
You know what my favorite part about it is? They went to DR, where it's gonna bring more tourism in the middle of COVID. And then the second wave of COVID is going to make so many more Dominicans sick. It's going to be fucking great.
The entire United States is worried about Harry and Meghan Markle. I'm worried about Bronx royalty. J-Lo and A-Rod.
Nah, bro. You know why you should care about Meghan Markle? Because it shows you something that in the royal family, as much as you thought there was no racism or the thought of racism.
What?
I knew
quote unquote. Of course, everybody knew because when everybody says that's not in their character about like the fucking January 6 riots and shit, like of course it's in their character because look at the people who did it, obviously. So the point is, Meghan Markle is America's, queen or princess at this point, and we should embrace it. Why? Because people went against her for her color, her skin, and her child, and that child didn't deserve that. So she should be embraced with the most positivity right now.
But Chris was correct because Harry did dress as a Nazi.
Who?
Harry. Is it Harry's her husband, right? Harry.
Yeah. And his was I don't know how you say French apologize in Latin or most other languages, but his apology to the world was, marrying and having a child with a beautiful black woman, a beautiful mixed black woman.
That's a hell of an apology.
And that's the ultimate apology because his father, what he did was married outside of royalty into a beautiful woman from, I forget where Diana was from. And the reason why it didn't work out isn't because Diana and him didn't work out, is because his family was like, yo, she's trash. She's not royalty. Why are you still married to her? And what he did was he broke up with her and he got back with the other chick that he was with before he was with Diana, who was royalty, who's basically his own cousin, and they're married to this day in a beautiful union.
And that's why you can tell there's racism in the royal family.
I know, but that's why I say she needs to be embraced with some positivity. I'm not saying not to give it to J-Lo in
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, they have a whole country that is tuning in and making sure that they are right. I want to make sure J-Lo is okay.
You called them a distraction, though?
She's Bronx royalty. That's what I'm saying. When we're talking about distractions, I choose those. I choose that one.
You think J-Lo's Bronx royalty?
I mean, she is.
What's J-Lo doing in the Bronx?
I don't know. But she's from what's Meghan Markle doing anywhere? I don't know.
She moved back to America after having lived in England as royalty. What do you mean?
No, J-Lo I think she got a condo in the Bronx somewhere. I really don't know, bro. What I'm saying is that they're both equally dope women that deserve our support and attention right now.
I respect that comment in full.
Boom. There you go.
What?
Jaylah is Bronx royalty because
my
everywhere she goes, she brings the Bronx with
Nah,
her.
Jayla's
So,
Boca Raton.
She
no, not Jaylah. J-Lo. Ain't nobody talking about Jaylah right
J-Lo
now.
brings her character everywhere she goes. She doesn't bring the Bronx. She brings the person that she is.
Yeah.
When you say you could take somebody out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them, you don't take out the hood. You take out their instincts and you take out the things that they learned. And that's what they claim is the hood. The hood is not instincts. Instincts are what people are supposed to have in order to survive. And so J-Lo learned those instincts and was able to survive to the point that she is trying to be a billionaire in her own right.
Well, she's Bronx royalty.
And she will be a billionaire.
Yep.
But she is greater than that.
So can we talk about the blood money that was given to George Floyd's family?
Damn, that's a bold statement. Blood money.
I actually like the way that's worded because it's a hard thing to call it blood money because he didn't bleed necessarily. You could call it breathless money.
It was murder.
Yeah, but
So
blood money
they basically
is
trying
money
to
that
buy
comes from death, obviously.
Minnesota, they're trying to buy, good points. And also, where's this article from? CBS News should be ashamed of themselves because the way they market the article is the biggest settlement ever given. Nobody gives a fuck about it being the biggest settlement ever.
None of that is going to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah. He's dead. And I'm pretty sure his family, they took that 27 million, but they rather have Floyd back. They rather have justice for Floyd. So
they rather have him left back in that car when he made those officers uncomfortable enough to pull him out of the car.
Yeah. So I always hate when they report the amount to try to make it seem like, everything's
distraction.
All good. Everything's
distraction.
Good. Don't worry.
It's a mind fuck.
Because they were honestly not going to charge this man with murder. Was it murder 3, Craze? No, they were able to put it back.
They just changed the charges, I believe, in court. So the thing is, the reason why I don't want to tell everything, but basically, this man is only going to be convicted if we will it. And I'm not talking about marching. I'm talking about will. If we say he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, that's what's going to happen mentally. Not he's going to be acquitted like everybody else, because that's exactly what's going to happen. If everybody has a sentiment of he's going to be acquitted, he will be acquitted. If everybody thinks he's going to be in prison forever, it will happen regardless of who's in the street.
Yeah, they were trying to have manslaughter counts only, but they're putting murder 3 or murder 2 back on the table. So, but the reason why people feel that way is because honestly, the way I'm seeing it is officer killed a black man. Officers never get reprimanded. So what you're saying is this, thinking like this is the worst way to think about it. He's probably going to get fired. He's probably going to do 4 or 5 years, and then he's probably going to be out. That's what
he was fired already.
But this is what normal people are thinking is going to happen, instead of thinking this man needs to go to jail for the rest of his life.
I mean, when you see them all be let out on bail, it's a little bit difficult because then you're constantly seeing what you've been seeing. But that's what's going to feed into the mentality of, they're just going to all be acquitted. That's the point.
How do you feel about this, Craze?
You don't allow it, it's not going to happen.
I mean, in terms of how do I feel about it, I think the outcome is, I think it is about energy. I think is how much people push them, to be honest. I think that there needs to be like some accountability too. Like, I feel like that energy of like making sure that people know that there's people kind of like waiting to see this outcome, and that the energy is that, we need to do something about it and kind of send a message. But I think that what you're saying, Rick, is like, as like the person that I am, I want to see it be one way, but based on like evidence, you're kind of like, damn, I just hope
exactly.
I just hope it's not what we've seen before, because of like qualified immunity and shit like that. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be hoping that he does get let off, let's say, or whatever the case, but whatever that means,
Do you want to see this officer go to jail as bad as you wanted to see OJ get off?
I don't know. I didn't really, I didn't have that investment in OJ, to be honest. I feel
But
like at the
we were
time, I
young.
didn't really know.
What I'm saying is,
Which time?
That's just
Because
No,
I
I mean,
definitely
like-
didn't
Talking about
want
the murder
OJ
one.
to. Oh damn.
Murder OJ.
there's a lot of people that wanted OJ to be not guilty. Not because
Of course,
they
and
didn't
that's
believe,
why he was not guilty, my brother. That's my whole
but
point.
that's the type of energy what I'm saying that we need to transfer into this.
Yeah, but
Like this officer needs to go to jail.
it's not only about energy, because positive energy and negative energy comes regardless. It's also about the way you're wording it.
Yeah.
Because you got to be specific in what you're asking for. That's how the law of attraction works.
Yeah.
I asked for a successful clothing brand, which I got, but then I didn't keep asking for things. And my depression allowed my depression to help me withdraw.
Mhm.
And every time I withdrew, I felt like a relationship will hold me back. I feel like X, Y, and Z will hold me back, never taking myself accountable for myself. And that's what most people don't do. They're not taking themselves accountable. So when I finally did, then I would learn something new. And when I learned something new, then I felt like I would grow. And that's kind of why I'm back doing clothes after 10 years. And it goes back to Francis, because, one day we was having a conversation and he was talking about different brands he's collaborating with. And I'm like, why don't we collaborate? He's like, what are you doing in clothing right now?
Mm-hmm.
And he used the phrase right now. He didn't say, what have you done? He said right now. So I was like, whoa, you're right. I'm not doing anything right now, because I was working this cushy job that had me traveling around the country. And, I was making more money during Trump's era. I was, the most successful I've ever been as an individual, but it wasn't fulfilling me as happy as I was, because it wasn't building me and myself and my brand. It was me helping somebody else build their company. And ultimately I got hit by a car, coronavirus happened, and all these accomplishments that I had set up for this company, none of it was worth anything but a bunch of pictures. And here I am back again with my own brand, knowing and feeling like Universal Mindfuck is everything that it will be. And and it's going to get to that again.
For sure, man.
So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be on the show today. Isaac, my brother, I truly appreciate you sharing your story and sharing your brand.
Yeah.
UMF Clothing at Instagram is his IG. Give us the website again.
Yeah.
Universalmindfuck.com or imadeit.com. I spelled it IEYE,
And hopefully after this coronavirus thing is over, we could go to the Bronx Brewery.
Oh yeah.
Yo, we link up.
Chop it up. Oh my God, the stories.
Yo,
oh baby.
We'll see you soon, bro. We gotta go send everybody to cop some t-shirts. You have t-shirts up now?
Yes.
Yeah.
The shirts, hoodies, and the masks. I really like the masks.
That brain design and like
the masks are fire. That hoodie was fire.
Yeah,
too.
I guess retro 80s kind of like design.
I appreciate that.
Love the look, love the colors, bro. Thank you again.
Look at that. I like that logo. There's a UMF inside the brain too.
Yeah. There's always subliminal stuff. Always. Because I want you to question it.
Let's go.
Next week will be our 98th episode.
Y'all see you on the other side of the eye, bro.
Always ask questions.
If you have any 90-day fiance recommendations in DR, let me know.
We need to find Jaylah.
Next week.
I'm Dominican,
I think we
so
need
I got
to
my
do that.
cousins.
I think all of our guests have to send one request. Like
send one recommendation. Your
best
flyest cousin.
I got you. I got like 12 cousins.
I'm making the ones that ask you for sneakers when you go to DR, like
exactly. What size, Jaylah? What size foot you want right now?
That's the one.
That's the one. Next week will be all about Jaylah and her 90-day journey. Craze and I have a few candidates already. We will discuss them live. Ivan and Tommy.
Episode 98.
We pulling up the Facebook.
Ivan and Tommy submitted too. So
did they really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Ready.
I'm hitting up everybody. Tyler
Good
River,
luck.
Jay Ramirez, everybody.
Think positive thoughts.
Positive thoughts. You can find me my Dominican finally.
You're going to get what you deserve.
Exactly.
And then some.
You heard? And I'm not talking about my letter.
Keep exuding that queen energy.
That's going to get me and Craze paid also.
Exactly.
We all eating, bro. You help me, I help you. You know it's a team effort. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Man.
Much love
I
and
don't know.
respect. I'll see you
Management.
all next week.